Hello friends, today's story is from Auraiya, Uttar Pradesh. After getting married, Pragati stayed at her in-laws' house for around 5 days. Then she returned to her maternal home. Her brother Alok personally came to take her back. When she came home from her in-laws, her face was glowing with happiness. There were no complaints from her in-laws, nor from her side. This made her family feel at ease, believing that her married life was going smoothly. But no one had any idea about the storm brewing inside Pragati's mind. The smile on her face was actually the shadow of a dangerous conspiracy. The very next day, after returning to her parents' home, Pragati contacted her ex-lover Anurag, also known as Manoj, over the phone. The two decided to meet at Hotel Banka Bihari, located on the side of the Auraiya highway. Anurag soon reached the hotel. Pragati was already there waiting for him eagerly. When they sat in a room together, their conversation began. Pragati said, "Manoj, just like we planned, I married Dillip. I didn't resist on the wedding night either, so no one would suspect anything. But even that night, I could only think of you. I can't wait any longer now." Holding her hand, Anurag said, "Don't worry. Through my cousin Dillip, I've spoken to a contract killer. He'll eliminate your husband. But there's a small issue. We need money." Pragati replied, "Don't worry about the money. I got around 7,000 during the Muh Dakai ceremony, and Dillip also gave me for expenses. Altogether, I have 1 lakh in cash and gold jewelry worth 8 lakhs. Now, call that contract killer. Let's sit face to face and finalize the murder deal." Anurag then contacted Ramji Nagar, alias Chaudhary, a notorious criminal from Achalda, Auraiya, through Dileep Yadav. Ramji had just been released from jail 2 days before Holi and was struggling with financial problems, so he immediately agreed to the contract. On the 17th of March 2025, Pragati and Anurag met again at Hotel Banka Bihari to plan the murderous plot in detail. Meanwhile, Anurag called Ramji Nagar alias Chaudhary to the hotel with the help of his associate Dillip. There, the three, Anurag, Pragati, and Ramji, sat face to face, and Pragati began the discussion about killing her own husband. Ramji demanded 2 lakh to carry out the murder, but Pragati felt that the amount was too much and didn't agree immediately. Eventually, through negotiations, Dillip helped settle the deal for 2 lakh. Pragati gave this 1 lakh in advance to Ramji and promised to pay the remaining 1 lakh after the job was done. Even after giving the murder contract, Pragati started behaving lovingly with Dillip. She talked sweetly with him on the phone and through video calls. Dillip was completely immersed in the affection of his new bride. He never suspected that the love he believed was genuine was actually poisoned with betrayal. Then came the morning of 19th March 2025. Around 10 a.m., Pragati spoke to Dillip over the phone. Dillip informed her that he was in the Umarada town of Kanauj district, where a bridge construction project was underway. He had taken his Hydra crane there and said that the work was now complete. He mentioned that he'd be heading home soon. Upon hearing this, Pragati immediately passed the information to her lover Anurag, who then relayed it to the contract killer Ramji Nagar. Ramji, along with his 2 associates Shivam and Dillip, left on a bike and reached Bella Crossing. Around 1:30 p.m., Dillip crossed the Bella Crossing and headed toward Dibyapur. That's when Ramji, Shivam, and Dillip began tailing him on a motorcycle. Near the Patna Canal Bridge, Dillip stopped at a roadside dhaba for lunch. There, he called his elder brother Sandeep and told him he was returning with the Hydra crane and having lunch at the dhaba. He said he'd reach home in about an hour. After finishing his meal, when Dillip stepped out of the dhaba, Ramji Nagar was already standing there. Ramji asked, "Brother, is this your Hydra crane?" Dillip replied, "Yes, it's mine. Why?" Ramji said, "Actually, our car lost control and fell into the canal from the embankment. We need to get it pulled out. Please come and take a look. We'll pay you whatever you ask." Thinking it was a small task and he'd earn Rs $4,000, Dillip agreed. Ramji and his 2 companions made Dillip sit in the middle of their bike and took him toward the crime scene. After covering a distance of about 7 kilometers, they stopped near the canal embankment near Palia village. As soon as they got off the bike, Ramji, Shivam, and Dillip grabbed Dillip, dragged him off the embankment and into a nearby wheat field. There, they beat him severely and attacked him with sharp weapons, leaving him badly injured. Even then, Dillip was still breathing. Ramji then pulled out a pistol tucked in his waistband and shot Dillip in the temple. Believing he was dead, the three fled on their bike. During this entire time, Pragati remained in contact with Anurag and the contract killer through phone calls. Around 4 p.m., some villagers from Palia saw a man lying in a critical condition near the wheat field by the canal and informed the police. Upon receiving the information, Station Officer Pankaj Mishra from Sahar Police Station rushed to the scene with his team. Dillip was still alive, so to save his life, they took him to Bidhuna and admitted him to the Community Health Center, CHC. Meanwhile, back home, when Dillip didn't return for 2 hours, his brother Sandeep tried calling him. The call was answered by Inspector Pankaj Mishra, who told Sandeep that the mobile belonged to a critically injured man currently admitted to CHC Bidhuna. Sandeep panicked. He told the SO that the injured person was his brother Dillip and said he was rushing to the hospital. He then informed the rest of the family, his brothers, parents, and even Dillip's in-laws about the incident. Accompanied by his brother Akshay, he reached the hospital. When he saw his brother's condition, he spoke to the doctors. Given the critical state of Dillip, the doctors referred him to Saifi Medical College. At the medical college, a CT scan revealed that the bullet was still lodged in Dillip's temple. By then, the entire family had gathered at the hospital. Even Dillip's wife, Pragati, came with her brother Alok. Upon seeing her husband's condition, she broke down in sobs and said, "The color of the henna hasn't even faded from my hands yet. And God, what terrible fate have you brought upon us? If anything happens to him, how will I live?" Her brother Alok somehow managed to console his sister Pragati, although he knew very well that she was putting on an act. When the news of Dillip being shot reached the senior police officials, considering the seriousness of the situation, ASP Abhijit R. Shankar, ASP Alok Mishra, DSP Bharat Paswan, and Sahar Police Station in charge Pankaj Mishra immediately rushed to Saifi Medical College. There they spoke with Dileep Yadav's family and gathered details about the incident. The officers learned that Dillip did not belong to an ordinary family. He was the son of a millionaire businessman. He had recently gotten married. But the biggest question remained: who was the enemy that wanted Dillip dead? Even Dillip's family couldn't provide a satisfactory answer to that. The next day, Dillip's condition worsened at Saifi Medical College. His family then admitted him to a big hospital in Gwalior, but when they weren't satisfied with the treatment there, they moved him to Agra. When that too didn't help, they finally took him to Chicholi Medical College in Auraiya. Despite all efforts, on the morning of March 21st, Dillip lost the battle for his life and passed away. After his death, the police sent the body for post-mortem at the district hospital. The post-mortem report revealed that Dillip had 9 serious wounds on his body, caused by a sharp weapon. A bullet from a .315 bore firearm was also recovered from the back of his head. The body was handed over to the family and taken to his native village, Nagladipa. As soon as the body reached the village, a wave of mourning swept the area. His father Sumar Singh and mother Suman Devi were devastated and inconsolable. Tears streamed from the eyes of all family members. Dillip's wife Pragati, who was at her in-laws' house, fainted upon seeing the body and clung to her husband's corpse, wailing. Her condition brought tears to everyone's eyes. Somehow, her sister Parul managed to calm her down. Dillip's funeral was conducted with full rituals. Meanwhile, based on the complaint filed by Sandeep Yadav, SHO Pankaj Mishra of Sahar Police Station registered a case of attempted murder under IPC Section 109. But when Dillip died, the charge was converted to murder, and the case was registered under Section 103. Because this was the murder of a businessman's son, Auraiya SP Abhijit R. Shankar took the case very seriously. He formed a special investigation team under ASP Alok Mishra and DSP Bharat Paswan to solve this blind murder case. The team included SHO Pankaj Mishra from Sahar Police Station, SWAT team head Rajiv Kumar, selected sharp officers and the surveillance team to uncover the truth quickly. The special police team began the investigation energetically. They first visited the crime scene for thorough inspection. Then they questioned the dhaba owner and all staff individually to find any leads. Afterward, they examined the route from the dhaba to Palia village, where Dillip was found wounded in a wheat field around 7 kilometers away. They closely examined CCTV footage from the roadside and canal banks. During this review, police found a crucial clue. A camera on the Patna Canal bridge showed 4 people on a bike heading towards Palia village. But when they returned, only 3 were on the bike. One person's face was clearly visible, making identification possible. The footage was shared with nearby police stations. Achalda police recognized the bike rider as none other than Ramji Nagar, alias Chaudhary, a well-known criminal from Ramnagar village under their jurisdiction. He already had 10 criminal cases against him and was recently released on bail under the Gangster Act. With this intel, police were convinced of Ramji Nagar's involvement. A raid was conducted in Ramnagar village, but he wasn't found. Sho Pankaj Mishra and SWAT head Rajiv Kumar deployed their informants and continued their raids. Finally, on March 24, 2025, around 12 p.m., a key tip-off came in. Ramji Nagar was at Harpura turn, arguing over money with another man. H.O. Pankaj Mishra and his team immediately headed there. On seeing the police, 2 men tried to flee, but the team quickly apprehended them and brought them to Sahar police station. During interrogation, one identified himself as Ramji Nagar alias Chaudhary, son of Mahesh Nagar, resident of Ramnagar. The other was Anurag alias Manoj Yadav, son of Ram Manohar Yadav from Siapur Hajiapur village under Bapun police station, Auraiya. Upon searching Ramji, police recovered a country-made pistol, .315 bore, 2 live rounds, a mobile phone, a sharp knife, and 2,000 cash. Anurag alias Manoj had a similar pistol, 2 live rounds, a phone, and 1,000 cash. All items were seized. Ramji also handed over the motorcycle used in the murder, which he had hidden at Harpura turn. When police questioned Ramji Nagar about the murder of Hydra driver Dileep Yadav, he initially pretended to be innocent. But Esho Mishra sensed his lies and pressed harder. Eventually, Ramji broke down and confessed that he had killed Dileep Yadav. He said it wasn't due to personal enmity, but a contract killing. Ramji revealed that Dillip's newlywed wife, Pragati Yadav, and her lover Anurag, alias Manoj, had jointly given him the contract. They contacted him through a relative named Dillip and agreed on a payment of 2 lakh, out of which 1 lakh was paid in advance. He had called Anurag to collect the remaining amount when police caught him. As Ramji was being tortured in custody, his screams were so loud they reached Anurag's ears, scaring him. During his interrogation, Anurag confessed without much resistance. He said he and Pragati were deeply in love, and after her marriage, Dillip became the biggest obstacle in their relationship. So, they decided to get rid of him and hired Ramji to carry out the murder. When it became clear that Pragati had orchestrated her husband's murder, police went to her maternal home in Siapur Hajiapur, but she wasn't there. Her brother Alok said she was currently at her in-laws in Nagladipa village. The police then reached Nagladipa and arrested Pragati Yadav. When the in-laws were informed about her arrest, they expressed their opposition. In response, SHO Pankaj Mishra told them that their very own daughter-in-law had arranged for her son's murder through a contract killer. Upon hearing this, the entire family was shocked. Following this, Pragati was brought to the Sahar police station, where she was confronted by her lover Anurag and the contract killer Ramji Nagar. Upon seeing both of them, Pragati realized that her secret had been exposed. Without saying a word, she confessed to her crime. Inspector Pankaj Mishra, after solving the case and capturing the murderers, informed senior officials. Subsequently, SP Abhijit R. Shankar and SP Alok Mishra held a press conference at the Auraiya police line, where they publicly revealed the details of the murder case since the accused had confessed. On the basis of a complaint filed by the deceased Dilip's elder brother Dileep Yadav, a case was filed against Ramji Nagar, Anurag alias Manoj Yadav, and Pragati Yadav under sections 1031 and 612 of the Bands Act. They were arrested according to legal procedure. During the investigation, the police found a gun and cartridges in the possession of Ramji Nagar and Anurag, leading to charges under Section 325 of the Arms Act as well. Further investigation revealed shocking facts. A young woman, in her desire to live with her lover, arranged for the murder of her husband just 14 days after their marriage. Now let's continue with the story and dive into this sensational incident. Before we move on, please do subscribe to our channel, like the video, and share it. Also, don't forget to leave your thoughts about this crime story in the comments. Let's proceed with the video. The case is related to the Siapur Hajiapur village in the Fafan police station area of Auraiya district, Uttar Pradesh. In this village, Harigovind Singh Yadav lived with his family, including his wife Kamla Devi, 3 sons Alok, Ashutosh, and Santosh, and 2 daughters Parul and Pragati. Initially, they lived in the Sanjay Nagar locality of Divyapur town, but later moved to the village. Harigovind Singh worked in a private job and supported his entire family. His sons, Alok, Ashutosh, and Santosh, were academically strong and earned their BSSCs from Tilak College in Auraiya, after which they moved out for work. Ashutosh worked as a teacher in a private school in Ujjain. All 3 sons were married and lived outside, visiting only for festivals or special occasions. Harigovind Singh's 2 daughters, Parul and Pragati, were also good in studies. They completed their education until 8th grade at Adarsh Shiksha Niketan school in Divyapur, and then passed their intermediate exams from a college in Auraiya. After this, their mother Kamla Devi stopped their studies and put them to work at home. At this time, Parul was around 18 years old, and Harigovind Singh began to worry about her marriage. He wanted to marry her off to a prosperous family with no shortcomings. After considerable searching, he liked a man named Sandeep. Sandeep's father, Sumar Singh Yadav, was a millionaire businessman and lived in the village of Nagla Deepa in Bhogav Tehsil, Mainpuri district. Sumar Singh owned 10 hydras and cone machines, which were rented out for business. Sandeep managed the business along with his brothers. Seeing Sandeep's prosperous life, Harigovind Singh chose him as a match for his daughter Parul. On February 9, 2019, Parul was married to Sandeep with great fanfare, and she became his bride. Pragati, Parul's younger sister, was more beautiful and charming. After reaching her 17th year, her beauty flourished even more, with her fair complexion and captivating eyes. Just 100 steps from her home lived Anurag, alias Manoj, who was 25 years old. Anurag, a handsome young man, used to ride a bike around the village and had a successful business of renting tractors. He fell in love with Pragati, who was equally attracted to him. Both families had an ongoing dispute over a piece of land, which created enmity between them. However, despite the conflict, Pragati and Anurag secretly started a relationship. Pragati would often visit her aunt's house in Auraiya, pretending to go to a temple, but instead meeting Anurag at a hotel. One day, they confessed their love for each other and promised to live and die together. Since both families were unaware, they continued their affair secretly. Over time, Pragati began to envy her sister Parul's prosperous life and wished for her lover Anurag to be similarly wealthy. So, she devised a plan to have her husband Dillip killed and take his share of the property. Pragati then involved Anurag in her plot, and despite initial reluctance, he agreed. Pragati began frequenting her sister's home and began wooing Dillip, who was 21 years old. Eventually, Dillip fell for Pragati's charms, and they started spending time together. One day, both of them decided to marry each other, but their families had already arranged Dillip's marriage to someone else. Dillip, not wanting to marry anyone else, threatened his family that he would commit suicide if forced into another marriage. To prevent this, Sumar Singh Yadav negotiated with Harigovind Singh and Alok for Dillip and Pragati's marriage, which was eventually agreed upon despite Parul's objections. The wedding was set for March 5, 2025. When Anurag learned about the wedding, he was upset, but Pragati assured him that she would soon complete her plan. After the wedding, Pragati went to the hotel and arranged for a contract killer, Ramji Nagar, to kill her husband Dillip. Her brother Alok was furious when he learned about her crime. Following the investigation, Pragati, Anurag, and Ramji were arrested and presented in court. On March 27, 2025, police arrested Ramji Nagar's associates, Shivam and Dileep Yadav, who were also involved in the murder plot. This story serves as a reminder for us to stay alert and aware. Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and share this video with your friends to spread the awareness.